Now listen to me, my friend. Have you ever stopped to think how sometimes we become our own worst enemy? It's not the government, it's not the neighbor, not even the boss. It's us. The problem isn't lack of ability, it's lack of decision. Think about this. Have you ever had a moment where you knew exactly what needed to be done, but you just didn't do it? It is like there's a brake inside you, and no matter how hard you hit the gas, your wheels just spin in place. Today, I want to show you how to escape that trap. We're going to talk about self-sabotage, decisions, focus, deep emotional change, and how you can break free from a cycle that's probably been following you for years. You can't change what you don't understand. And let me tell you something. Every human behavior is driven by two forces: pain and pleasure. People will do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. That means the reason you're stuck is because deep down, you associate more pain with change than with staying the same. Here's an example. You want to lose weight. You even sign up for the gym. You start off motivated, but at some point, you stop going. Why? Because without realizing it, you started linking pain to the process. It's exhausting. It's hard. I feel ridiculous there. I'll never make it. Meanwhile, staying the same gives you instant pleasure. The couch is comfortable. Sugar calms you down. Your comfort zone feels safe, but that pleasure is temporary. Then comes the guilt. You feel weak, judge yourself, and sabotage again. That's the cycle, and it keeps going until you decide to break it. Not through brute force, but through understanding and perception shift. Now listen, you are not your story. You are the author of it. But many people carry the same narrative for 10, 20, 30 years. My family was poor. I was never good at math. I've always been shy. It's always been harder for me. And so on. These stories become your identity, and when your identity is fixed, you start acting in alignment with it, even if it's destroying you. It's not what happens to you. It's what you decide to do with it that shapes your future. And the good news? You can rewrite that story right now. But you can't write a new chapter if you keep rereading the old one every day. Now pay close attention, my friend, because this is pure gold. Change happens in an instant. What takes time is the preparation for that moment. You spend years suffering, postponing, trying, until one day you decide, enough, and in that moment, you change. Not because you learned something new, but because you connected with something you always knew deep down. I'm more than this. I'm capable. I'm a child of the Creator of the universe. That decision must be emotional, not logical. You have to link the right emotions to the change you want, and break the negative links that hold you back. Want to change? Then start with this question. Who are you? Because if you say, I'm anxious, I'm lazy, I'm disorganized, your brain will do everything it can to keep you acting that way, because humans crave alignment with who they believe they are. But if you change your identity, I'm disciplined, I lead my life, I'm someone who keeps my word, everything begins to shift. You were born an original. Don't die a copy. Today, we've started a journey. You now understand the cycle. You've learned that pain and pleasure are guiding you, and you're starting to see that identity is the key to everything. In the next part, I'll show you how to break deeply rooted emotional patterns and how to use physiology, focus, and language to take control of your mind. But until then, I want you to say this to yourself tonight. I am not my story. I am the author of my new journey. We'll meet again in part 2. And remember, my friend, you were born to win, but you have to choose to get out of your own way. Now, listen closely, my friend, because here's the secret that changes lives. You can't change your life without first changing your patterns. Patterns are those automatic responses you repeat without even noticing. For example, When something goes wrong, do you complain? When you feel pressure, do you shut down? When you're afraid, do you self-sabotage? These are emotional patterns, and do you know how to break them? With shock, with interruption, with new emotional associations. You have to interrupt the pattern. You have to shock the system. You have to surprise the mind. That's why pain is often our greatest teacher, because pain shakes you, wakes you up, and screams, "Enough of playing small." But you don't need to wait for pain to change. You can decide right now. And to do that, we're going to use three forces that change everything: physiology, focus, and language. Let's start with your body. Your body is the key to your emotional state. Try feeling depressed while standing tall, shoulders back, chest open, breathing deeply. You can't, right? The body is the keyboard that accesses the mind. Are you walking around slouched, shoulders down, shallow breathing? Then your body is constantly sending signals of weakness and fatigue to your brain. But when you change your posture, your energy changes. When you move with strength, your mind responds with power. That's why leaders rise before the sun. That's why winners stretch, breathe, walk like they've already won, even before the victory shows up. Want to change your state? Change your physiology right now. After physiology comes focus. What you focus on, you feel. If you focus on what's missing, you feel lack. If you focus on what you have, you feel gratitude. If you focus on the problem, you drown. If you focus on the solution, you find strength. Most people live focusing on what they don't have, what went wrong, what they lost. But the great ones, the ones who turn the game around, learn to focus in the right direction, even in the middle of chaos. Focus is a choice. You choose what to feed, and like my mom used to say, you can't stop birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building a nest there. And finally, the third force that shapes your destiny: language. The words you use every day aren't innocent. They are codes that shape your inner world. Let me show you. If you say, "I'm destroyed," your body feels drained. If you say, "This is a challenge," you activate solution mode. If you say, "This is impossible," you shut down. But if you say, "I don't know how yet, but I'm going to make it happen," you give your brain permission to find a way. The words you repeat become beliefs, and your beliefs determine your actions. Change your language, change your life. Now combine all three. Your body, moving, strong, energized. Your focus, set on gratitude, solutions, and direction. Your language, reprogrammed to empower you. These three forces together create a new emotional state, and it's in that state that transformation happens. You stop living on autopilot and start leading your life. So far, you've learned that patterns need to be broken, that physiology, focus, and language are the levers of change, and that transformation begins the moment you break away from the old version of yourself. In the next episode, we're going to dive into creating daily rituals, building your ultimate identity, and how to stay consistent even when motivation disappears. Until then, repeat with me. Today, I choose action. Today, I choose control. Today, I choose to be greater than I was yesterday. My friend, if there's one thing that separates the ones who win from those who just dream, it's what they do every single day. Success is not an event. It's a habit. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your rituals. The truth is, your life today is the result of yesterday's routine, and the life you'll have tomorrow depends on what you choose to do every day from now on. And when I say ritual, I'm not talking about something grand. It's the small daily commitment no one sees, but that shapes you from the inside. What you do in private will one day shine in public. Listen carefully. Motivation is great, but it's unstable. Some days it comes in strong, but other days, it's just gone. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll be a slave to your emotions. But if you build discipline, you become free. Emotion pushes you, but discipline carries you to the finish line. The secret of the greats is not the initial excitement. It's the ability to keep going even when everything inside them wants to stop. The question isn't, how do I stay motivated? The question is, what do I choose to do, even when I don't feel like it? Now, here's something most people don't get. You don't act according to your identity. You build your identity through your actions. Every time you act like a disciplined person, you see yourself as disciplined. Every time you finish something, you see yourself as reliable. Every time you keep your word, you build self-esteem. And the opposite is also true. Every time you betray yourself, your mind records, "I'm not someone I can trust." There is no self-confidence without integrity to your own word. Want to change who you are. Change what you do, especially when no one is watching. Now, let's lay down the pillars of your new identity. Write this down like it's gold, because it is. 1. Consistency. What you do, does you. 2. Courage. Say yes to what moves you, no to what weakens you. 3. Congruence. Do what you say, live what you preach. 4. Clarity. Know exactly who you want to become. 5. Commitment. Be all in, even on the bad days. You build a new you from these stones. Now hear me closely. Even with all this, you're going to have hard days. Days when it feels like you're going backward. Days when the old version of you tries to return. The old you won't go quietly. He'll kick and scream before he dies. And that's where mental armor comes in. Here are your weapons. The right environment. Distance yourself from those who drag you down. Get closer to those who lift you up. Mental nutrition. Every day, read something good. Listen to things that build you up. Watch content that strengthens you. Avoid toxic distractions. Every hour on your phone with no purpose is a thief of your life. Be aware of your triggers. Know what breaks you and set up barriers before it breaks you again. Mental armor isn't perfection. Mental armor is conscious protection. Let's recap. You learned that routine shapes your destiny. That discipline overcomes emotional ups and downs. That identity is built through action. And that you can shield your mind from setbacks through your environment, your input, and awareness of triggers. In the next episode, we'll dive into the heart of lasting change. How to create deep emotional leverage. How to use visualization and purpose to keep the fire burning, and how to break the final links in the chain of self-sabotage. But until then, remember this, my friend. You weren't made to walk in circles. You were born to walk a straight path, with your chest out, your eyes steady, and faith in the future. Now, we're going to hit the point that truly transforms lives: emotional leverage. Let me tell you something. You will only truly change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of changing. That's right. Every real transformation starts with a decision. But that decision needs fuel. And that fuel is emotion. You must associate so much pain with your old self that staying in that state becomes unbearable. And at the same time, you need to associate so much pleasure with the new version of yourself that your soul lights up just thinking about it. Stop now and reflect. What is the emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual cost of continuing to sabotage yourself? What have you already lost by delaying, procrastinating, or doubting yourself? How much life have you wasted trying to please others or running from your calling? Feel that pain. Don't run from it. Use it. Now take a deep breath. And imagine, in full detail, who will you become if you take control right now? What kind of parent, leader, human being will you turn into? What kind of life will you live? Feel that pleasure. See it. Hear it. Touch it. That contrast is what drives your soul forward. Most people know what they want. Some even know how to get it, but only those who know why they want it go all the way. Your purpose is your foundation. When everything shakes, your why is what keeps you standing. Want to lose weight? Why? Want to earn more? Why? Want to beat procrastination? Why? And this why can't be shallow. It has to be something that shakes your soul. It could be your children, your freedom, your faith, your mission, your pain from the past. Find that reason and never let go of it. Now listen carefully. If you've fallen 1,000 times, if you've failed, felt ashamed, felt small, none of that defines who you are. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to do now with what happened to you. The story of your past only has power if you keep telling it the same way. So rewrite it. I didn't fail, I learned. I didn't waste time. I gained clarity. I'm not weak, I was just asleep. You can reprogram your mind. You can write a new story. You can step into a new role, starting today. Self-sabotage isn't about lack of ability. It's about lack of clarity, lack of emotion tied to change, and an excess of limiting beliefs. But now, you're equipped. With emotional leverage. With your why. With new meanings for your past. With small, consistent actions. Now is the time to break the final link. How? By taking action. Not tomorrow. Now. Do something today that your sabotaging self would never do. You'll prove to yourself that you're in charge now. So far, you've learned how to use pain and pleasure to trigger the decision that changes everything. How to find your true why, your fuel. How to rewrite your past and reclaim your power. And how to break the final link of self-sabotage with immediate action. In the next and final part, we're going to build a daily action plan to lock in your new identity, a commitment to the future that makes relapse impossible, and the emotional installation of your new reality. Get ready, because the end of this journey is the most powerful part of all. And until then, remember this, my friend. You were born to live with purpose. You were born to leave your mark, and every step you take now is bringing you closer to the man, the woman, the leader you were born to be. Listen closely, my friend. There is no transformation without direction, and direction without action is just a wish. So here's the model you'll use every day to reinforce your new identity. Simple, powerful, transformational. New identity installation. Routine. 1. Morning visualization. 5 minutes. Close your eyes. See yourself acting like the person you want to become. See yourself full of energy, focus, courage. See yourself keeping your word, winning the day. 2. Identity declaration. 2 minutes. Say out loud, I am disciplined. I am determined. I am free from self-sabotage. I act even when I'm afraid. I win because I am committed. 3. First powerful action of the day. Start the day with an action your old self would avoid. Could be a workout, a video, a bold request, a brave no. 4. Night reflection. 5 minutes. What did you do well today? Where did you slip? What will you adjust tomorrow? Repeat this for 7 days. Then 30. Then 90. And when you realize it, that new version of you will be your reality. Zig here, and let me tell you something. You're still stuck because you have an emotional contract with your old self. Maybe that contract says, that's just how I am. I'm not good enough. I've tried everything. I always quit. But today, right now, you're going to tear up that contract. Say it loud and with faith. I break the contract with my old identity. I cancel the agreement with self-sabotage. I renounce the lie that kept me stuck. And now write a new contract. From today on, I act like someone who has already won. I am the author of my story. I am responsible for my destiny. Every great change needs a visible commitment, something that says, from here on, there's no turning back. It could be a video of you declaring who you'll become, a letter to your future self, a symbol, a tattoo, a promise made out loud. But do it, because the brain respects what you honor publicly. You need to make this pact. I am this new version, not tomorrow, now, and I'll prove it to myself one day at a time. Let me tell you something deep. You don't need to get there to become someone new. Transformation isn't a destination, it's a decision. The moment you act according to your new identity, even just 1%, you're already living the change. Every small step is a brick in the foundation of a new you, and the life that once seemed impossible begins to unfold before your eyes. Now that the journey has come to an end, I want you to take a deep breath. Think about everything you've learned so far. You faced your mind. You looked inside with courage. You challenged the story you told yourself. You tore up the contract with sabotage. And you wrote, with blood and boldness, a new chapter. The future belongs to those who have the courage to let the past die. You're stronger than you think, more capable than you imagine, and closer to victory than you've ever been. So go, with faith, with fire, with purpose, and always remember, you were born to win. But to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. Zig Ziglar.